The old school tactics that gurus don't share with you about wholesaling real estate. Guys, it's Rick Ginn, and in this video, I'm going to share what I call the secret tactics that established wholesalers use, and they really don't share with the gurus, and they definitely don't share with the public. But before I get into it, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. You hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the best information on wholesaling today. So, I think I qualify as an old school wholesaler with my 20 plus years. And there's a lot of tactics that just aren't talked about because number one, they're not sexy. Number two, you just can't put them in a course and get a course sale. So let's dive into it. Let me share with you the secrets I've used. And not only me, a lot of established wholesalers have been doing this 20, 25, 30 years plus. That still works today and you might want to try using. So first I want you to understand we have all these fancy places to get data. I want you to understand that all data is aggregated at the county level. If you go to your county records, your property appraisers, whoever stores your county records on real estate, you would be shocked how much information you can actually get for free. You can sort it. Sometimes they charge you a slight fee, but you are entitled to grab the information based on all real estate within your county, and it's all held at the county office. If you can get that information in a CSV file, you can sort it however you want. Now, I'm warning you, it's a lot of information, but when I first started out wholesaling, I skipped all these other services and went straight to the county. They've made it more challenging, but check that out. The next one is like old school bandit signs. The only reason a guru tells you a bandit sign doesn't work is that because they can't sell you a course on it. To this date, in our company, we still use bandit signs and make sure they're legal to do in your local county, but all you have to put them in is high traffic areas where cars slow down. They have a 3-second window, and the key with a bandit sign is answer your phones and don't put your personal cell number on there. Make sure you use a virtual number. Bandit signs work. Been using them 20 years plus, they still work today. One of the most overseen techniques that all old school wholesalers use is they utilize their title company. I'm not talking about doing title searches, is they are the hub center where everybody goes for activity. They know who the real cash buyer's on, which is extremely valuable information for you because sometimes you need a cash buyer in a pinch. Also, you know who the mover and shakers are in your market. You know who's buying the most properties. You know which real estate agents are the most active. Guys, title companies are the key to a ton of data that is really not public. Now, you can't go in there and demand it. You got to go in, you got to form relationships, you got to get to know the owners. And I'm telling you, if you connect with your title companies, past the title services, the amount of private data they have, old school guys like me, we utilize it on a daily basis. Get to know your title companies, build rapport, and they will provide 10 to 20 years of data that would take you that long to get. Property management companies, guys, these are a gold mine. So these are typically brokers that use property management to bring in clients so they can manage their properties for a fee, which takes a licensed real estate agent. And from there, the idea is when they're ready to sell the property or do anything like that, they're already in-house. It's a perfect lead. Now, you and me both know there's a lot of tired landlords. There's landlords that don't keep up their places. And if a management company is managing 1,000 properties, on average, about 5% of them need a lot of work. They're vacant or they need to be sold. Once again, use the same strategy you do with your title company, inform relationships with them and work to get that private data. You have to work. You can't just ask for it. You have to provide them value, help them out. And then you can make offers on off-market properties that need work, and you will pay the real estate agent because you need them to promote you to make sure your offer gets accepted. Do not overlook the property management companies. Guys, bird dogs. I know this is a weird phrase, but I've always used bird dogs in my business. And a bird dog is just someone who points you in the direction of a motivated seller. The bird dog's job is not to hand you a contract that's signed and sealed. No, they're not qualified to do that. So my favorite bird dogs are going to be bartenders, waitresses. You'd be surprised. car salespeople have like a lot of contact information. Anyone who spends a lot of time networking and talking to people. Why? Because they know people that need to sell properties. Once you identify the need, then you can match it to their motivation. You just need the introduction. And in return, you can give the bird dog a marketing fee. You can never pay them a commission. That's completely illegal. But take them out to dinner, reward them, and maybe they might even be a good fit in your business. Guys, bird dogs are phenomenal. One of the best way to utilize the bird dog technique is just go to your local RIAs and find people you want to work with. Now, here's another dark, dirty secret, how old school wholesalers use bird dogs. So I got caught in this, and what they do is they run an advertisement for, like, do you need a short-term loan for your real estate flip? Basically, they were acting as hard money lenders. They really weren't doing it. What they were trying to do is get people to call them about their deals. I don't have money. And they were trying to get a partnership. So that's another little technique. You can advertise for it. I rather you like be honest and give full disclosure, but a lot of the old school wholesalers will advertise for like a hard money loan. And in reality, they're trying to have you bring them the deal. They're going to educate you on you and tell you how you can make more money by partnering with an old school wholesaler. Guys, it still works. So if you're established, you can go to your like local RIAs, which is a Real Estate Investors Association network, and you can apply that same tactic. You can use flyers and stuff like that. I know it's a little bit gimmicky, but man, I'm telling you, it worked. It worked on me. I did 2 or 3 deals based on that advertisement, and I didn't even know what I was walking into. So go ahead and utilize it. If it gets you another deal, why not? Contractors, guys, this one is probably the most overlooked. All old school wholesalers like me, we understand contractors look at a lot of properties. Contractors write bids all the time on people that don't accept them because it just needs too much work. They don't have enough money and it's a failed bid. If you can get a hold of those failed contractor bids, you have a gold mine. And set a threshold, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and let the contractor know if you're able to purchase that property. Not only will you give them a marketing fee, but you can actually hire them to do the repairs on the property. Now, us wholesalers don't do repairs, but we would make them the front runner to do the repairs to the final fix and flip person. Guys, contractors, it is golden. To this day, I get some of my best fix and flip deals, and they come from contractors from failed bids. Get those failed bids and you have a ginormous edge on them. Auctions, guys, every town has some sort of auction. There's usually 1 to 3 auctions that dominate your neighborhood. There's one that's going to do on the commercial side, and then there's another one that's going to do the small residential side. Find out who they are, go out, have a cup of coffee with them, have lunch. These people are instrumental. I've done a lot of backdoor deals with them before they even get to auction, because remember, they're a licensed broker. If they get the right deal before they take it to auction, they will actually take it. Step number 2 on the auctions, if you physically go to the auctions, they typically take place on a Saturday morning, and that is a great place, once again, to find out who the movers and shakers are. You're going to find the realtors for the cash buyers that they represent. They usually show up without them. Guys, it is a sea of opportunity, especially from the cash buyers. One of my favorite little secrets I find from the auctions are the cash buyer real estate agents, because they show up sight unseen. They look at the property, they make a bid, and they walk away. I'm like, how can I sell her a bunch of my properties? And to this day, that's how I sell a lot of my properties. And one of my favorite tactics is estate sales. And if you're like, you don't know what that is, basically estate sales are companies that go out and they put out an advertisement, and when people want to liquidate large amounts out of their house, their garage is full, the basement's full, there's a bunch of junk in the family, or they want to downsize, or when somebody passes away, these estate companies are pulled in to take inventory, get it all presentable, and have an auction. Now, a lot of times the real estate is really the prime piece that we really want. You can utilize and find motivated sellers, especially on probates, people have passed away, or just really overcrowded houses, through these estate auction companies. So find the advertisements. You can find them online, your newspapers, whatever it is, Craigslist, and connect with these estate companies. And it's a simple conversation. Let them know that you're interested in buying these properties from the people that are willing to sell. They don't have to negotiate it. And if you successfully buy the property, not only will you buy the property and give them a marketing fee, but you can also let them know they can have everything in the house 100% for free. because usually when I buy these houses at the auctions, I just buy the whole thing. Usually the auction stuff's only worth a couple grand at best, so throw in like another $1,000 and then just give everything to the auction company, guys. It works wonders. I also offer to pay for advertising for the estate auctions so they can promote their business. Why? Because that's how I get more motivated seller leads. And one of my last techniques, and this is really old school, are bail bondsmen. So I've been over this with you guys before. Bail bondsmen are called in when people get arrested or things that they're not so proud of, and then basically to get out of jail, they post a bond for 10%. So if they had a $50,000 bond, 10%, they would have to come up with $5,000. A lot of times the bail bondsman will secure it to the piece of real estate, and then if somebody skips town or it goes south on them, they're usually looking to foreclose on that property. You can actually take over their position and buy that, or you can actually work with the seller and negotiate the bail bondsman's part. All they want to do is get paid their fees so they can pay their employees and they continue to post bond insurance payments, and the only way to do that is to make sure the money comes in. So they have a leg up, they know the owner, and if the property needs to be sold because that's the only way to satisfy the debt, that's where you come in. I will warn you, it's a little bit more of an advanced strategy, but if you take your time and start building a relationship with the bail bondsman now, you will do amazing things. So I want to remind you guys that wholesaling is not a sprint. I've watched over 20 years, the people who sprint, they go really fast. I'm going to do as many deals as I can. They burn out as fast as possible. So understand it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's why I've lasted 20 years plus. And my recommendation to you is play the long game. So here's my last tip, the old school that works the best. I call it the scrunchy face. And this comes when it comes to negotiations. You guys should be going for the no, getting a rejection on your first offer and making an embarrassing offer. Why? Because you need to get a counter from them. The best way to do it is with the scrunchy face. And the scrunchy face just goes like this. Hey, Mr. Seller, if I offered you like 50 grand, would that work? And then based on the response, they're either going to yell at you, and if it's a real negative one, you go, I didn't think so. I'm just shooting it out there. You didn't give me a number. That scrunchy face actually takes the pressure off the seller, puts it on you, and they actually feel bad for you. Now, I know it sounds a little bit gimmicky, but I will tell you, it works really well. I've been using it 20 years plus. That's the only reason I'm teaching you this. There is no course in America that's going to teach you how to do the scrunchy face in wholesaling real estate. I just showed it to you guys. So tell me what you think. Are you going to use these old school guru tactics from an old investor like me of 20 years plus? I'm telling you, they're not super sexy, but they work. Every technique I've just taught you will never go away. They'll always be around. Don't get me wrong. We have to do cold calling or SMS or direct mail, all the other things, but these tips will help maybe get you an extra 2 or 3 deals in a year, and that will make a difference of blowing up your business, how much you utilize it. So guys, let me know in the comments if you're using my old school wholesale real estate tips from an old guy like me, been doing this business 20 years. Let me know in the comments. And maybe if you have a tip you can share with us, we can share with our audience. Guys, as usual, I appreciate your time. Make sure if you like this video, click that like. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And this is Rick Ginn, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.